Welcome everyone, I am One True Brick, and sadly, today I'm going to be going over the last Exo-Force set. Set number 8118, the Hybrid Rescue Tank. It was released in 2008 for approximately $30 and contained 347 pieces. Nowadays, you can expect to spend around $45 to buy it, so it is one of those sets that has increased in cost. As for why particular sets retain their value, why some of them increase in price, I wish I knew. But this is one of the ones that has been marked up. Something I just want to quick say, while this is my last set Exo-Force review, I will be doing at least a couple more episodes, one of which will be the 2008 overview, and then one final episode to commemorate the entirety of Exo-Force's line. And there is the potential in the future for that I will be going over story elements as well. So stay tuned for those types of things. So this set is very clearly an upgrade to the mobile defense tank. If it wasn't obvious from the name, it retains a lot of the same designs, and of course, because Rio is the creator of it, he took a lot of his previous design, and I definitely think the Hybrid Rescue Tank is a very good successor to the mobile defense tank. The only odd thing about it, I think, and this isn't exactly a con, but is the fact that it's blue with white and gray. This always seems strange to me because blue was never a color that Rio had for a battle machine, unless you count the teeniest, tiniest little amounts of blue that were in the uplink and mobile defense tank sets. But I think that was just intended to be kind of a commemoration of his purple hair, and they didn't have purple parts at the time, except for his headpiece. So I love that they did this design using a Technic core. I always appreciate when LEGO does this because, as you can see, it's very hollow in there, but generally from looking at it at an angle like this, you don't really notice that. Whenever you have a Technic core to a set, it makes it appear bulkier than it actually is, and so you feel like you're getting a better bang for your buck. One particular series that did this really well was Dino Attack. The T1 Typhoon is one of the biggest sets that you can get, but was only $70 when it came out. It is positively gigantic, and that is because the entire core of it is actually hollowed out. But you don't notice this because the only exposed spots of it is from the underside, the same being the case with this one, except for you can also see a little bit from the side here. But using that design means that you feel like you've almost got a $40 or $50 set. I really appreciate how they had this giant wheel on the back. I'm not sure whose idea it was to add this, but I think it looks great having this giant wheel. I'm not sure if it's included in any other sets. I imagine it's probably in some off-road 4x4 type Technic sets, but I really think it fits well with this design. With Exo-Force being based off anime, and anime usually being pretty over-the-top in its storyline and design, this really feels like over-the-top. Like, this doesn't seem practical at all, but it looks really freaking cool. So the major thing that I can talk about this set is the functionality. So there isn't a whole lot to say about its appearance or story content. However, it is packed with functionality. First off, of course, you can roll it along the ground. And if you notice, up front, when you drive, this cannon right here will rotate. There is a Technic gear system right in here that's connected to this tire that when it spins, it allows for that to rotate. And then on the side here, you can see there's another gear that when turned, you rotate the cannon right here, this kind of turret, and it can spin all the way around. There's also some opposable cannons on the side here, although they aren't as big as the cannons that are on the mobile defense tank. There is the ability to rotate those as well, and it's pretty reminiscent of it, having the ball and socket joints right here. Along with those functionality parts, there is kind of a major piece of functionality that I really appreciate them adding to this. Honestly, I kind of wish that they had done this with the mobile defense tank as well. But right up here, this portion of the mobile defense tank, the turret right here, actually slides up and off, revealing a little tiny, like, robot, I guess, underneath that can still act as a turret to pilot it. You can kind of tell there are eyes there. I think it's meant to be a robot at least. But right here you've got this turret, and if you slide out the wings and fold these like so, you end up with a kind of little flyer right there. And in the comic, it was shown as Rio flying this to combat the Storm Lashers, which is, to me, it doesn't feel like a full-on capable combat machine. Kind of, it seems like more of a drone that could be flown around and kind of scope out the stuff from above, but not really able to fully combat the robots on its own. There are also some missiles on the side there that you can launch, and then of course the mini robot, and I'm going to quick reattach this. Oh, there's also a little engine back there for those of you who are interested in that. This mini robot always gave me trouble coming off. So this robot is actually intended to be a flying robot. As you can see, there are wings here, but it can also go on the ground by folding its legs down like so. And then this piece right here pops off, and it's got like a little gun. And does somehow manage to stand up, despite the fact it doesn't really have any actual feet. But that pretty much shows off the entirety of the functionality of this set. Also, let's take a quick look at the minifigures. As you can see, there's Rio up here, still sporting his orange outfit, not really matching with any other part of the design. At the very least, I would have thought they would have made him maybe white. But he does have a new print right here. It's kind of got an orange and white camo design with a belt and a chest piece, and then the assistance and technology logo right there. And then the other figure, something that is a very good way to get this minifigure if you are interested, is Sensei Kiken. So in story, Sensei Kiken has been captured by the robots in the actually in the Golden City part of the storyline. He was captured a fair bit ago and replaced by a Mecha 1 look-alike that had his clothes and face over the top of it. And the theme of the Deep Jungle era is the humans going to rescue Sensei Kiken. And this is the exact same one that you can get in the Sentai Fortress. I really appreciate that there's another way to get this minifigure. He has the same exact hair, torso, and double-sided face. So if you are looking for a way to get this minifigure without dropping the $150+ on the Sentai Fortress, I would totally recommend you getting this set. Whoops. It would appear there isn't a back to this cockpit area. Just be very careful as you put him back in. And with that, that pretty much wraps up the entirety of the wave. There's not a whole lot to be said about this particular set, but I will be back next week to talk about the storyline and the entire wave as a whole. Of course, I am sad that the Deep Jungle era was rushed. However, I think it brings some of the best sets in the series in this wave. I really like, in particular, this set and both of the smaller robot battle machines, the Arachnoid Stalker and the Dark Panther. I think they're some of the best robot battle machine designs of the series, and absolutely recommend you getting them if you have an opportunity to. But with that, I will see you guys next week to talk about the entire wave. As soon as I get that little robot guy in there, Rio says bye. And so do I. Bye! He's developed some sort of strange weapon that will completely obliterate humanity from the face of Sentai Mountain and perhaps the face of